Back here at Fort Morgan High School at Quarry Riddle, this is Brian Nickel, where we are getting ready for the start of the boys game, about 4 or 5 minutes away here before tip-off. This Elizabeth Cardinals team comes in with the height advantage, that's for sure. Tyler Immel comes in at 6'7", Aaron Stone at 6'5", Jacob Gavitt at 6'4", Evan Bisaki at 6'5" for the Elizabeth Cardinals. For the Fort Morgan Mustangs, Trey McBride comes in at 6'3", Joy Snyder at 6'4", Eric Kimball at 6'2". But as we have seen in games earlier this year, that height doesn't always mean you're going to get the most rebounds. They know how to get the position on the boards to get the rebounds. They've done a fine job of that so far this year. And I'm sure before we get into this game too far, there will be a milestone that will be reached by Eric Kimball. He is 1 point away from 1,000. They tried to get it to him the other night up there, and he didn't have a real good shooting night. And Coach Unrein left him in about as long as he possibly could. And after he missed the second of a two-shot foul, then he went ahead and took him out. And but that's all right. He can do it here in front of the home crowd, which is.
Now, Brian, what were you saying a little bit ago that Kimball, out of those almost 1,000 points that he has, none of those include three-pointers?
That includes three-pointers and two-pointers. That's his total points. The leading scorer in Fort Morgan Mustangs history is Scott Blacksley. He has 1,041, and that was done in 3 years.
3 years, okay.
And that was before the three-point line. So all of his points were 2 points or from free throws. So his percentage is going to be higher than what Eric's is.
I was mistaken there. I was kind of not thinking right.
And Eric Kimball, he has played all 4 years. His freshman year, he had 52 points. His sophomore year, he had 300 points. His junior year, 315. This year so far, he stands at 332. And each year, his points per game average has also gone up. He started out at 2.5, then 12.5, then 13.1, and now this year he sits at 16.7 points per game. And if he keeps his average up, he will eclipse the record of Scott Blacksley, but there almost needs to be an asterisk there. Scott was leading scorer in the two-point era, and then Eric Kimball will be the scoring leader from the time the three-point line was put in, and I honestly couldn't tell you what year that was put in, but still a great feat for
both boys
for 4 years in high school basketball. So the Fort Morgan boys come in, as we said, first in league at 10-1. The Vista Peak is also at 10-1, but Fort Morgan has the tiebreaker with them on point differential. Elizabeth comes in at 8-3, Fort Lupton at 6-5, Weld Central and Skyview each at 4-7, Alameda at 2-9, and Englewood at 0-10. Also tonight on the court in the Colorado 7 League, Skyview is at Fort Lupton, Weld Central is at Englewood, and Alameda is at Vista Peak.
We got 48 seconds left here. It's halftime.
So see if the boys can come out hot in this game.
It'd be nice if they come out just as hot as they did against Vista Peak.
Yeah, in that first game, the Fort Morgan Mustangs, we said, won 65-57. Came out with they had a 15-12 lead after the first quarter. At halftime, they were up 29-25, only a 4-point lead, but then outscored the Elizabeth Cardinals by 5 in that third quarter, and then were outscored by 1 in the fourth quarter. So it was a pretty close game all the way through. The Mustangs came away, though, with that 8-point win, and in that game, Eric Kimball was leading scorer with 20 points. Joy Schneider was second with 12. Tate Kimball with 9, Trey McBride with 8. Well, excuse me, I missed one. That was TJ Bauer, and he had 9. And
that's what we were talking about earlier. He will be missed tonight. You know, I mean, he had that fracture on his thumb, so they're going to have to make up those points somewhere else here tonight.
Yeah, he had 9 points in that game, so he'll have to come up with that 9 points from the bench tonight, from the starter. So the starting lineup is brought to you by Cargill Beef. Cargill Beef is committed to feeding the world in a responsible way by reducing environmental impact and continuously improving products and processes. Learn about Cargill's story of commitment at www.cargill.com. And starting tonight for your Fort Morgan Mustangs is 6'3" freshman Trey McBride, 5'10" junior Nate Gertner, 6' sophomore Tate Kimball, and 6'4" senior Joy Snyder, and 6'2" senior Eric Kimball. So we'll see how long it takes when we get that. I'm sure Eric wants to get that bucket out of the way so we can concentrate just on playing basketball and not getting that extra point, because I know the other night they kept feeding him that ball just trying to get him those points. But I think it's worked out well where he's going to be able to come back and do it here tonight at Fort Morgan. And they have a nice crowd here tonight. Good crowd here also from Elizabeth that has come up to follow their team. A nice crowd here in the student section for the Fort Morgan Mustangs. The opening tip is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. With 2 locations in Brush and Fort Morgan, Ingmeyer Phillips can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or needs. And right off the bat, Joy Snyder with the dunk. What a way to start it for the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Now a 3 is up, and that is going to be good by Schaefer. So the lead not long for the Mustangs. They're down 3-2, but on that emphatic slam down by Joey Snyder to start this game off. Now underneath to Eric Kimball. Now to Nate Gertner, to McBride from the right side. His shot is up and no good, and that is going to be rebounded by the Elizabeth Cardinals. Into the corner is Urich. He drives it into the lane. Now the ball is going to be kicked by Kimball and out of bounds. So the Cardinals to inbounds left of their baseline as Stuart Urich gets the ball in. Now he gets it back into the corner as they try to get it underneath the stone. The ball is going to be taken away by the Mustangs. So turnover by the Cardinals here. We'll see if Fort Morgan, they want to try to get the ball to Eric Kimball to get his points, or if they're just, I think they're probably just going to run their offense and have what happens here as the Mustangs back the ball out and slow it down. Down 3-2. Tate Kimball with the ball out close to half court, now being pressured a little bit by Urich as he hands it off now to Joey Snyder out on the left high wing. Now to Nate Gertner in the left corner. Back to Snyder in the corner. Snyder drives his baseline, and he is going to be fouled on the drive. And that foul, let's see if that goes on 44. That is Gavitt, his first. Fort Morgan to inbounds left baseline as they get it into Schneider. Now through the hands of Tate Kimball and into the back court. So that will be an over and back turnover for the Fort Morgan Mustangs. So Evan Visaki is into the game for the Cardinals along with Stone and Gavitt and Schaefer and Urich. Urich is now out. Boss into the game. Another turnover by Elizabeth. So Fort Morgan Mustangs need to take advantage of these opportunities that the Cardinals are presenting to them. Snyder now to Gertner in the left corner. Tate Kimball out high, dribbles it into the lane. He gets it to McBride, now to Eric Kimball. He is guarded by Schaefer. Eric Kimball is going to go in. His going to be stripped from behind, taken away by Gavitt. Now out here on the left corner is Schaefer. Cross court and out of bounds is Boss, as that pass was way too long. So a 30-second timeout by Elizabeth. So we're going to keep it here. A low-scoring affair here so far, 3-2. Both teams with multiple turnovers here to start this game. It looks like Fort Morgan with 2 and
Elizabeth with 3.
So we'll get the jitters out and get to playing a good game here. 3-2 with 5:35 to go here in this first period of play. A game the Mustangs need to win if they want to win this league championship. Because Vista Peak will win out, I'm sure. They are at the 2-9 Alameda Pirates tonight. Next week, I don't remember where they're at, but I know it won't be Fort Morgan or Elizabeth, so they should win their games. So Fort Morgan needs to come out with a victory here tonight to keep this league lead. Eric Kimball thought about it for a minute. Now it's to McBride. He's out past the three-point circles. He gets it to Gertner. Now to Schaefer on the left side. He gets it into Eric Kimball. Eric Kimball pops and stops and rebounded by McBride. McBride puts it up and in on the rebound. Now Fort Morgan with the pressure defense as Stone brings the ball up court, gets it off to Boss out on the right high wing. Tipped away by Eric Kimball to Nate Gertner. Gertner now to Tate Kimball as he loses the ball. Saved by Eric Kimball, but into the hands of Elizabeth. That layup is going to be up and good by Gavitt. Tate with the ball up across half court as he is getting a screen from Eric Kimball. Now Eric is going to stop and pop for a three. And that is up and good for Eric Kimball. There is the 1,000 points for Eric Kimball.
Eric Kimball just broke the 1,000
now
milestone.
Over up top to Stone. That layup is going to be up and no good. Rebounded by Kimball as they get the ball to Nate Gertner. Gertner back to Kimball. Now back to Eric Kimball. Eric Kimball all the way down the lane. His layup is going to be up and no good. Rebounded by McBride. His little left-handed putback is no good. Rebounded by Stone as they get the ball down to Gavitt. And his layup is going to be up and good. And he was fouled on the play. And that foul is going to go on Joey Snyder for the first foul on the Mustangs. Brian Almanza comes in for Nate Gertner, but Eric Kimball now over the 1,000-point mark for his career. 3:50 to go in the first period, 7-7. Immel comes in for Visaki. Immel is the 6'7" senior. Elizabeth with 6 seniors. That free throw is up and no good off the front of the rim. Eric Kimball with it gets it to Almanza. Back to Kimball out at the point. This game all tied up at 7. Now Tate Kimball as the Mustangs slow this down. Tate Kimball tries to take it into the lane, gives it off to Almanza. Being guarded on the right side. He takes it down to the bucket. Into McBride from the left side. That is up and good for Trey McBride. 4 points on the night for McBride. Almost saved by McBride as he lands on the coaches and players here on the sideline. But nice hustle by the freshman as they get the ball into Stone. Ball now over to Urich. His three is going to be up and good for Urich. 10-9. Elizabeth. And kick it out over into the corner now to Joy Snyder from the left corner. That is up and no good. Rebounded and tipped around and off of Gavitt and out of bounds. Harris Huff into the game. Trey McBride to come out. Nice job by McBride on this to start this game. As they get the ball in, Harris Huff now to Eric Kimball. Back to Huff out at the point. Now to Almanza on the left side. That ball is going to be not on the target and out of bounds by the Mustangs. So a turnover by the Mustangs. Leading scorer for the Elizabeth Cardinals is Gavitt at 22.2. Stone at 14.7. Jurich now brings the ball up. He gives it off to Stone. Back catch out here out at the top. Now they get it in to Immel and taken away by the Mustangs as Eric Kimball now underneath to Schneider. Here's a little jumper from the left side. Is going to be up and good for Joey Schneider. 4 points on the night for Schneider. Up 11-10 are the Mustangs. Nice steal by Brian Almanza as he gets in the way of the entry pass. Still with the ball now to Tate Kimball. A little jumper from the right side is up and good by Tate Kimball. Mustang lead 13-10 now. Fort Morgan trying to create some of that mayhem that they were been wanting to do. Layup is going to be up and no good. Looks like it may be tipped out of bounds off of Eric Kimball. So the Cardinals to inbounds almost into the left corner baseline. Mustangs up 3 with 1:40 to go, 13-10 as they get the ball up top to Schaefer. Schaefer gets the ball back from Stone. Now over onto the far side to Immel. Cross court to Stone. Now Urich for a 3 from the corner, and that is up and no good. Rebounded by Eric Kimball. He gets the ball to Almanza. Now they're going to get it to Harris Huff. Huff little from the right side is up and no good. Rebounded by Gavitt. Gavitt's a 6'4" forward. Layup is going to be up and good. He takes it coast to coast. 6 points on the night for Gavitt. Eric Kimball for a 2, and that is up and good for Eric Kimball from the left side. 3-point lead once again for the Mustangs. 15-12, under a minute to go here. Layup is going to be up and good by Stone, his first bucket of the night. Back to that 1-point lead again for the Mustangs. Tate Kimball has the ball up across half court now to Almanza out on the high right wing. Harris Huff at the point now gets it off to Eric Kimball on the right wing. See if the Mustangs drain this clock down for the last shot. They've got to still take 22 seconds off the clock as Eric Kimball is being guarded out top by Schaefer. Now he hands it off to Tate. Tate it's still out, way out past the 3-point line. He drives it all the way down. His layup is going to be up and no good. Rebounded by Schaefer with 7 seconds. Schaefer's going to take it all the way down. It's going to, Joey probably had more time, but that shot is going to be off the mark. So at the end of one, the Fort Morgan Mustangs up by 1, 15-14 on B106 and B106.com. Welcome back to Fort Morgan High School at the start of the second period where the Mustangs are up 15-14. Elizabeth will control the ball to start this second period of play as Urich gets his commands from the coach. Urich drives it all the way down. He tries to dish it off, taken away by Eric Kimball. Eric Kimball looks down court, being guarded by Urich. That pass is going to be tipped out of bounds by Visaki down in front of the Elizabeth bench. So that's where the Mustangs will inbounds. Brian Almanza, Eric Kimball, Tate Kimball, Trey McBride, and Reyes back is into the game tonight for the first time. Jesus Reyes, a 5'9" senior, is in for Harris Huff. And Brian Almanza, Trey McBride is back in for Joey Snyder. Give him a little breather. Almanza looks to get the ball in, gets it in to Kimball. Eric Kimball now to Reyes, back to Eric Kimball. Long three is up and good for Eric Kimball. He is feeling it tonight. He was about 6 feet behind the 3-point line. So up to a 4-point lead now for the Mustangs, 18-14. Boss now down the right side against Reyes. Now they hand it off to Gavitt. Visaki from the left side, up and no good. Rebounded by Reyes. As he looks to get the ball down court. Stops and gives the ball to Kimball. Now to Almanza in the left corner. Almanza drives it down. Reverse layup up and no good. Rebounded by Boss in the corner. Now they get the ball into Gavitt. His shot is going to be up and good, and he is going to be fouled. Let's see who they put that on, and that will go on Tate Kimball. His first foul, so that will send Gavitt back to the line to shoot one. He missed his first free throw attempt. And this one is up and good. 9 points so right now for Gavitt. Tate Kimball off to Almanza, now to Eric Kimball out way high, now to Jesus Reyes out on the right wing. Nate Gertner getting ready to come into the game with the next dead ball. Tate Kimball now to Trey McBride. McBride, they're going to call McBride for the travel. So Schneider and Gertner into the game for McBride and Almanza. Oop, we got three coming out for Reyes and Almanza. Mustangs with full court pressure as Boss gets the ball up court, gets the ball to Stone. Now Gavitt for two, up and no good, rebounded by McBride. He gets it up to Tate Kimball. Kimball with a little hesitation. His little runner is going to be up and good from the right side for Tate Kimball. 4 points on the night for Kimball. 3-point lead again for the Mustangs, 20-17, 6:14 to go in this first half of play. Boss being guarded by Kimball now as he hands it off to Schaefer. Schaefer to Visaki. Now at the lane, going to be knocked away, but Gavitt gets it back. It's going to be off of Fort Morgan and out of bounds. So the Cardinals will inbounds left of their basket on the baseline. Mustangs up 3, 20-17. Gavitt lobs it underneath, and that layup is going to be up and good for Stone. 4 points on the night for Stone. Stone averages 14.7 points a game. Cross court to Gertner, now out to Kimball, to Eric Kimball. Underneath to Joey Schneider. Nice reverse layup for Joey Schneider. Points on the night for Schneider. 3-point lead again for the Mustangs. Boss with it out high, keeps his dribble alive against Tate Kimball. Now to Visaki over on the left high wing, back to Boss. They tried to get it underneath to Gavitt. Gavitt's shot is blocked, and they're going to call a foul. They're going to call a foul on Trey McBride, his first. I thought the ref underneath was going to call a jump at first, which well could have. Gavitt will go back to the line to shoot two this time. So nice crowd here tonight at the high school here in Fort Morgan. That first free throw is up and good. Almanza back into the game for Tate Kimball. State Farm Insurance. Let the State Farm Insurance office of Greg Mullen and Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life. Home, auto, life, health. State Farm Insurance is here for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call at 842-4555. Free throw also good in Fort Morgan. Ooh, good thing Eric Kimball was watching, because when Joey Schneider threw it in, Almanza wasn't watching.
He wasn't watching there.
And Eric Kimball to the rescue. Now over to Joey Schneider in the far right corner. Almanza to Eric Kimball. Kimball for a three, up and off the side of the rim this time. Rebounded by Visaki. Taken by Stone. Now it's going to be off of the foot and out of bounds off of Immel. So Fort Morgan still with that 1 point lead, 22-21. Brian Almanza gets the ball up court. Keeps the dribble alive out high as he's being guarded by Urich. Now to Eric Kimball. Almanza to Eric Kimball to Schneider. Three from the corner, and that is off the rim and no good. Rebounded by Visaki. So you get the ball up court with Boss. Boss over on the right side. Nice job by Schneider to cut off Stone on the right baseline. Now they get it into the hands of Boss. Back to Urich. Being guarded by Gertner. Now back to Boss out on the left high wing. Back to Urich at the point. Now back to Boss as he is guarded by Almanza. Now to Stone. Left baseline. His jumper is going to be up and no good. Rebounded by McBride, and they're going to call, I believe, Visaki over the back. It's either going to be Visaki or Immel. And that will be on Visaki, his first. So a 30-second timeout is going to be taken here by the Mustangs. So we'll just keep it here. This Fort Morgan timeout is brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East in Fort Morgan will fit you into the car or truck of your choice. Serving all of Northeast Colorado, Ehrlich Toyota East. So as we said in that first game, that was it's not too far off. Fort Morgan had 29 points at halftime, and there's still 3:51 to go here in this first half. So about on pace that they were in that.
I mean, Elizabeth, they look like a good team too. I mean, Fort Morgan, I have no doubt can take them tonight.
Yeah, they're a tall, lanky team, that's for sure.
Mustangs definitely doing a good job about getting those defensive rebounds there.
Yeah, Elizabeth comes in at 8-3 in the league, 11-8 overall. Eric Kimball, cross court to Schneider, now to Nate Gertner. Gertner back to Schneider, now to Eric Kimball. Kimball into the lane. His little runner is going to be off the rim and no good. Rebounded by Immel. Boss now, his layup is going to be up and no good. Rebounded though by Visaki and put in. His first bucket of the night. Now the Cardinals with the lead, 23-22 with 3:14 to go. Eric Kimball back to Tate Kimball. Gertner going to launch a three, and that is off the rim and no good. Rebounded though by Schneider, and he gets it into the hands of Trey McBride. His shot is up and no good. McBride gets his rebound back and puts it up and good. 6 points on the night for McBride. McBride is averaging 8.5 points a game as a freshman. Mustangs now back with that 1 point lead. Pass is going to be knocked away and finally taken away by Tate Kimball. He hustles it up, gets it to Gertner. Now back to Joey Schneider, to Eric Kimball out on the right high wing. And now to McBride. His shot is going to be up and no good. Falls short, but rebounded by Gavitt. Now to Urich. Looked like he was going to line up for a three. He drives it in, and passes it off to Gavitt. He's going to give it to Visaki for the three, and that bounces around and no good. And rebound by Immel, and his shot is no good. But he is going to be fouled on the shot. I believe that is going to go on McBride. And that will be 2 on Trey McBride. Now Monza looks to come in at the next dead ball, as Immel will go to the line to shoot 2. That first one is up and good. All tied up here at 24. McBride comes out. Almanza comes in. Ackley Building Center, your one-stop center for home improvement projects. Ackley Building Center, located at 1402 Mill Street in Brush, is your one-stop shop for flooring, paint, tools, appliances, and more. Second free throw also good for Immel, his first 2 points of the night. As Corey said earlier, back and forth here. Now the Cardinals with the 1 point advantage, 25-24 with 2 minutes to go. First half of play. Gertner out high, now to Tate Kimball on the right wing. That pass is tipped, but caught by Almanza. Now into the right corner to Tate Kimball. Now he gets it over to Almanza. Now into the corner to Nate Gertner. As the Mustangs throw the ball around here. Schneider from the right side, his shot up and no good. Rebounded by Visaki. So Mustangs missing their last couple 3 shots here. Urich now passes off outside to Schaefer, and he's going to get it off to Visaki. He's being guarded by Kimball. And he gets it off to Stone. Now they get it to Gavitt. Urich for the three from the right side, and that is up and good by Urich. His second three of the night, 6 points on the night for Urich. Mustangs down 4, 28-24 with a minute to go here, first half of play. Tate Kimball to Brian Almanza. Almanza for a three, and that's going to be way long over the basket and taken by Gavitt. As Gavitt brings the ball up, tipped away, and it's going to go into Stone, and he's the layup from the right side is going to be up and good by Stone. We're kind of getting away from the Mustangs here. Down 6 with 36 seconds to go. Eric Kimball with the ball. He drives it into the lane. His layup is going to be up and no good. Goes down and no foul called. Now they're going to call a foul after the rebound, and I believe that will be on Almanza. Be his first. 5 team fouls on Fort Morgan, 2 on Elizabeth. As they get the ball in, being picked up in the backcourt. Stone now with the ball. Off to Schaefer, now back to Stone, over into the corner to Basaki for the three, and that is up and no good. Should have been an over the back on Gavitt, and no call, and it was off of Eric Kimball. So 11.9 seconds to go here. First half of play, the Cardinals will inbounds left baseline of their basket, up 6. They get the ball into Basaki. Now to Stone, out high. They get it to Urich. Underneath, though, to Schaefer, and his layup is going to be up and good. And that will put the Mustangs down 8. At the halftime, we will be back with the halftime show after this break on B106 and B106.com. Back here at Fort Morgan High School, just at the end of the halftime festivities here, the Mustangs down 32-24. Brian Nickel and Corey Riddle here at the gymnasium. Braden Godin back at the studios for us tonight. Mustangs are averaging 63 just a flat 63 points a game, giving up 51.2. Elizabeth is averaging 63.7 and giving up 53, so pretty evenly matched teams here. As far as points total go, now the Mustangs will have first possession here to start the second half. Eric Kimball as they get into McBride. McBride's shot is up and could not get it to fall. And now we'll see. They're going to call it off of McBride and out of bounds. So Fort Morgan could not come up with that easy bucket right there at the basket, as Elizabeth now will take control as Gavitt gets the ball. Stone being guarded by Kimball gives it off to Basaki, now to Urich. Urich drives it down the lane, kicks it off now to Stone. Stone's little layup from the right side is up and no good, rebounded by Schneider. So he gets it into the hands of Kimball. Kimball hurries it up the right side. He's going to be fouled on the drive, but no shots. Fort Morgan will retain possession. And that foul is going to go against Schaefer. It's only the third foul on the Cardinals here in the game. First team foul in the second half of play. Now they get it into Tate Kimball out high right wing. McBride now back to Kimball. Kimball for a three from the right side is up and no good and goes over the top of the backboard and out of bounds. So the Mustangs have not found the range here to start this second half of play. Still down 8. As they get the ball across to Stone. Stone off to Schaefer. Schaefer drives it all the way into the paint. He is going to be fouled on the drive. They're going to give him the 2. They're going to say it was on the shot. And that is going to go against Gertner, his first. And that will send Schaefer to the line for the first time tonight. Brush Grocery Cart. Stop, shop, and save on all your grocery needs and snacks for game time enjoyment. You can also pay your public service bill and access Western Union. Brush Grocery Cart, 1302 West Edison Street in Brush. First free throw was good by Schaefer. Second one is going to be off the back of the rim and no good. Tipped out by Eric Kimball. And he is going to be fouled as Schaefer goes right across the front of his face. And that is second foul on Schaefer. Second team foul. So the Mustangs now down 9. 33-24. And that ball is going to be stolen on a bad pass by Tate Kimball. And that shot is going to be up and no good by Schaefer, taken away on the rebound. And then there's going to be a foul called. And that is going to go on Urich, his first. 3 team fouls now on the Cardinals. Tate Kimball now brings the ball up across half court. 6:40 to go. They get the ball to Gertner. Cardinals extend their defense out. Now Tate Kimball tracks the ball down. Gertner over on the right side now to Joey Schneider. Gives it to Eric Kimball. Schneider now cross court to Gertner. Now to Tate Kimball. Tate for a 3, and that is up and good for Tate Kimball. That's what we were looking for here. Get some points going here for the Mustangs. Now as Stone is going to be taken away by Tate Kimball, but then taken away by the Cardinals. Into the corner now to Gavitt. His 3 is going to be up and no good. Rebounded by Gertner as he comes down the lane uncontested. Now Tate Kimball, they're going to call a push foul, and that's going to be on Schaefer. That'll be his 3rd. Schaefer averages only 2 points a game. But Boss will come out and Schaefer to the bench. So a 6-point lead here for the Elizabeth Cardinals with 5:59 to go, 3rd period. As a screen was set up by Trey McBride. Now skip pass to Gertner. Gertner back to Tate Kimball out high to Eric Kimball. His up for a 3, and that is off the rim and no good. Now they're going to call a foul underneath, and I believe that's going to be on Gavitt, his 2nd. 5 team fouls on Elizabeth and 1 on Fort Morgan here in this 3rd period as Fort Morgan will inbounds left baseline. So you get it into Schneider out to Gertner. And Gertner's pass is going to be taken away by Gavitt, and then a foul call, and that is going to go against Gertner, his 2nd. So an ill-advised pass there to Eric Kimball as it was intercepted. So Almanza into the game for Gertner. Gertner, a 5'10 junior, will be back next year for the Mustangs. Get the ball into Urich. Being guarded by Tate Kimball. Urich into the paint. Kicks it out now to Stone. Cross court to Boss over in the right corner. Underneath to Gavitt. Gavitt shoves his way underneath, and he is going to be fouled on the shot. And that is going to go against Tate Kimball, his 2nd. Send Gavitt back to the line when he was 3 of 4 in the first half of play. And his first free throw is up and good. See what he shoots from the free throw line. Gavitt is shooting at 77%, so a pretty good free throw shooter. And that one bounces around and out as McBride gets it out to Tate Kimball off the rebound. Tate Kimball up and the blocking foul, and the shot is no good, but Tate Kimball will go to the line to shoot 2. And that foul is going to go against Urich, be his 2nd. So Tate Kimball to the line to shoot 2, and his first free throw is off the back of the rim and no good. Tate Kimball on the year is shooting at 72%, and that second one also no good. So you get the ball quickly up to Urich. His pass is going to be taken away by Eric Kimball. Eric Kimball is going to go all the way down for the layup, and that is up and good for Eric Kimball. Takes it all the way after the steal. 5-point lead here now for the Cardinals, and that is going to be knocked out of bounds underneath off of Eric Kimball. Nice hustle to get down in the front of that pass, knock it out of bounds. Now Urich to inbounds right baseline as they get it into Boss out at the point, being guarded by Almanza. Takes it all the way down, and his layup is going to be up and no good, but they're going to call a foul on the layup. We'll see if that's going to go on Brian Almanza, and it will. That will be his 2nd. That will send Boss to the line to shoot 2. First free throw is up and good. McBride comes out. Harris Huff into the game for the Mustangs. Harris Huff is a 5'11 senior. Second shot up and good also. Boss with 2 points on the night. 7-point lead again for the Elizabeth Cardinals. As the Mustangs look to get their offense set up now to Harris Huff. Harris Huff tries a 3, and that is going to be off the rim and no good. Rebounded by Stone as he gets it off to Dasaki. Gets it into the hands of Boss. Boss into the corner. Urich now for a 3, and that is up and good. So Elizabeth with a hot hand tonight. Up 10 now, 39-29, with 4:20 to go here in this third period of play. Now a 3 is up and no good by the sophomore Tate Kimball. Off of Gavitt and out of bounds, so the Mustangs will inbounds left baseline of their basket. And now a full timeout is going to be taken by Elizabeth. We'll take one with them. The Mustangs down 10 with 4:12 to go in this third period on B106 and B106.com. 4:12 to go here in the third period. The Mustangs down 10, 39-29. Layup is going to be blocked by Immel. Now Eric Kimball with the shot is in and out. Harris Huff with the rebound, up and good for Huff. His first bucket of the night. Now they get the ball down quickly to Immels. He goes into the bucket. His shot is blocked by Eric Kimball. Now they're having a wrestling match out on the floor, and they're going to call a jump ball. That's ridiculous. Possession arrow to the Cardinals as Tate Kimball was run into just past half court. Loses control, goes down to get it, and then they fall on top of him, and they call a jump ball. It
doesn't make any sense.
Boss now with the ball. Kicks it off to Gavitt out in the right corner, being guarded by Kimball. And it's going to be knocked out of bounds by Tate Kimball as he comes in from the back over Stone and knocks it out of bounds. So Stone to inbounds, gets it into Gavitt out on the high right wing, out to Boss at the point. Now to Urich over on the left side. He drives down the baseline, gives it into Immel, and his little jumper is going to be up and good for Immel. 4 points on the night for Immel. Eric Kimball now cross court to Harris Huff. Harris Huff for a 3, and that is off the rim and no good. Rebounded by Schneider to Eric Kimball. Eric Kimball into the lane. His layup is going to be up and no good, but they're going to call a foul on the shot. So Eric Kimball will go to the line to shoot 2. I didn't catch who that was on. That was on Stone. That is his first. Eric Kimball's first free throw is up and good. 11 points on the night for Eric Kimball, where he is shooting 71%. And that one is also up and good for Kimball, as he works towards that school record of 1,041 points. Down 8 with 3:03 to go. They get it back into Immel. Now a dish it off, and up and good is Stone coming in from the left side. 8 points on the night for Stone. Tate Kimball all the way down, and his shot is going to be blocked, but they're going to call a foul. I believe that might be on Gavitt. Let's see if that's on Gavitt.
That's what it looked like.
And that will be 3 on Gavitt, and that will send Tate Kimball back to the line to shoot 2, where he missed his previous 2.
Wouldn't hurt us to get Gavitt out.
No, they're all hitting pretty good, and Tate Kimball cannot find the range tonight at the free throw line. Harris Huff out. Nice job by Huff while he was in there. Trey McBride back into the game. So Gavitt does come out. I believe Vasaki came in for him. Tate Kimball does hit the second one. Going to be off of Brian Almanza and out of bounds off of the pressure defense by the Mustangs. As the Mustangs down by 9. They get the ball into Boss, being guarded by Almanza as they get it up past half court, gets it down into the lane. Now they kick it off to Vasaki. Vasaki to Immel out in the corner. Now Immel gets it off to Boss. Boss is going to drive it all the way down, give and go to Vasaki, and that shot is up and no good, but they're going to call. That's a late whistle. We're going to see who that goes on. That will go on Tate Kimball, will be his third. And that will send Vasaki to the free throw line for the first time tonight. Vasaki's first one is off the rim and no good. He averages 64% from the free throw line. Jesus Reyes into the game for Tate Kimball. Another thing that the Mustang would like to win this game, would be nice to win the league championship, but they are also 10-0 at home. They would like to have that perfect record, but things are going to have to change here in the last 10 minutes of this game as Reyes does keep his balance. Eric Kimball down the right side picks up his dribble. Now a shot from the right side is going to be up and good for Eric Kimball.
They got to do a lot. They got to do better on that defense and get some maybe those defensive rebounds.
So Boss now is. You're right. They need to try and shut that middle down. They're getting some easy shots inside, and they need to start hitting some shots. They're been missing some free throws here, or some regular shots. Now they're going to call a foul away from the play. Is it going to go on Trey? And it will. That will be his third. 18 fouls on Elizabeth, 6 on the Mustangs. Gertner back in for Reyes as Jurich will inbounds right baseline of their basket and get it into Vasaki, being guarded by Kimball. Now to Stone, back to Vasaki down the right baseline. He gets it out to Boss. Boss all the way down the lane. He's uncontested but misses it. And now McBride with the rebound, but he is going to be fouled on the play, and that will be Boss. That will be his first. So that will send McBride, I believe, to the free throw line for the 1-and-1.
What is McBride's average?
McBride from the free throw line is 61%, 31 of 51. And that one is, in and out. Kind of the way things have been going. They get halfway down and pop back out of there. Mustangs down 8, 44-36 with a minute 25 to go here, third period. Jurich backs it out against Gertner. Picks up his dribble. Now to Immel. He gets it off at the left elbow. Now back to Jurich out high. Underneath the Boss, and Boss's shot is going to be blocked from the back by Almanza. Almanza brings it all the way down the court off to Schneider. A three from the left corner is up and no good. Rebounded by Stone. Stone, a 6'5 senior. Gets it off to Boss. Boss back to Stone out at the point. Stone now being guarded by Joey Schneider out high. It's going to be off of Stone and out of bounds. But Elizabeth coaches were saying it should have been off of Joey Schneider. But it will be Mustang ball as Gertner gets the ball in to Almanza with 42 seconds to go. The Mustangs down 8, 44-36. Now Joey Schneider to Gertner in the left corner. Get it out to Eric Kimball. Now they're going to have a foul called on Stone as he tries to go through the screen set by Gertner. So that will be Stone's second. Gertner will go to the line to shoot 2 now, as that is 10 team fouls on the Elizabeth Cardinals.
That could be to her advantage here.
See, the first free throw is up and good for Gertner, his first points of the night. And Gertner from the free throw line is 51%. He did miss the second. 7-point lead for the visiting Elizabeth Cardinals as Stone gets the ball down court, hands it off to Boss. Boss back to Stone. Stone hands off to Jurich over on the left side. He gets it back from Jurich. Down to 9 seconds. Now over to the corner to Boss. Back out to Stone. 5 seconds. Now back out to Boss. His three is up, and if it goes, it is good at the buzzer. So it is a 10-point lead for the Elizabeth Cardinals as we go into the fourth period of play on B106 and B106.com. Back here at Fort Morgan High School with Corey Riddle. This is Brian Nickel. The Fort Morgan Mustangs find themselves down here by 10 to start this fourth period of play. And one person that is missing from this lineup tonight and probably will be, hopefully he'll be back for the playoffs, is TJ Bauer. So they lose one of their guards, and that could be making a difference.
Most definitely.
But you play with your lineup that you got. It's next man up. Back over to Gertner on the high right wing. Now to McBride from the left corner, and his shot is up and rolls around and out. Taken away by Visaki. Now Urich. Urich goes right by Tate Kimball. Now into the corner to Visaki. It's going to be taken away, but back to Gavitt. Now into the corner to Urich, and his three is going to be up and good for Urich. Urich is way out of his league tonight. He averages about 3 points a game. He's up to 12. Mustangs with the turnover, and Gavitt goes down, and they try up with a shot, and they're going to call McBride, I believe, for the block. And that will be for on Trey McBride, as that will send Gavitt back to the line to shoot two. Trey not real happy with the call. Gavitt's free throw is off the back of the rim and no good. Almanza comes in for McBride. Atwood Steakhouse, home of the $8.95 dinner menu during the week and the best prime rib on Friday and Saturdays. B&J Plumbing can handle all your plumbing needs from clogged drains to a major construction project. Just give them a call at 522-3828. Second free throw was good for Gavitt. 51-37. Mustangs are down with 6:56 to go here in this fourth period of play. Kimball to Gertner. Gertner drives it in and passes back out to Schneider. Tate Kimball cross court to Almanza. They try to get Eric Kimball posted up. Kimball now comes out to the top point. Cross court to Tate Kimball. He drives the left baseline. His little layup is going to be no good, but he is going to be fouled on the shot. So Tate Kimball to the line to shoot two. And that is going to be on Visaki, his second.
They really need to start hitting some of these free throws here, Brian.
Yeah, Tate was only 1 of 4 in that third period of play. He does drain this first one, though. So you have Nate Gertner, Brian Almanza, Tate, and Eric Kimball, and Joey Schneider on the floor. Second free throw is up and good for Tate Kimball. 10 points on the night for Kimball. Now to Gavitt. It's going to be taken away, but they're going to call a foul out high. Let's see if it's going to go on. They're going to call it on Joey Schneider. His second. That will send Gavitt back to the line to shoot two. First free throw is up and good for Gavitt. Apparently it was a 1-and-1, only 18 fouls on the Mustangs. Second free throw bounces around and is no good. Rebounded by Schneider. He gets it off to Eric Kimball. Kimball drives it down to Almanza over on the right side. Picks it up. He should have been out of foul call there. Nothing called, and Coach Unright in the ear of the ref. Now Eric Kimball will go to the line to shoot three as he is fouled on the shot. And that will go against Stone. So Eric Kimball to the line where he is 2 of 2 so far tonight. Only 2 points scored for the Mustangs here in this fourth period of play, and Kimball misses the first. Stubbs Gas and Oil. Make Stubbs Gas and Oil your next stop out. Heading out of town during your visit,
Second
you can
free
get.
throw up and good.
Yep. So that's what we need to. We need to start hitting more of those. See if we can do here on his third one. Find everything you need at low prices at Stubbs Gas and Oil in Wiggins. And that third free throw is up and good for Kimball. 16 points stolen by Eric Kimball. Now to Joey Schneider, and he goes in from the left side, and that is up and good by Schneider. 8 points on the night for Schneider. Now back to a 9-point advantage here for Elizabeth. Now they're going to have a foul called on Gertner, and that will be 3 on Gertner. So that will send Urich to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. So Urich, first free throw is kind of dies on the back of the rim and falls in. Urich on the year is shooting 73%. So he will get a second, and that one is also good. 11-point lead for the Cardinals with 5:50 to go here in the game. Almon's out on the high right wing. Now back out to Kimball at half court to Gertner. Now to take Kimball. It's like a 2-1-2 zone defense here by the Cardinals. Now to Gertner. Gertner drives it in, pulls up his dribble. Now to Eric Kimball out on the high right side. He drives it in underneath the Schneider. His little turnaround is up and no good. Rebounded by Stone. As there should have been an offensive foul called and nothing called on the Cardinals. Schaefer over in the left corner. Now they're going to have a foul called on Eric Kimball. He hits first over on the left baseline, and that will be 10 team fouls. So that will send Schaefer to the line to shoot 2. His first free throw is up and good. So Schaefer with the second free throw as they are up 12. Second free throw also up and good. Tate Kimball off to Nate Gertner. Now have a timeout called. A 30-second timeout here will be taken by the Fort Morgan Mustangs, so we will just keep it here. This Fort Morgan timeout is brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East in Fort Morgan will fit you into the car or truck of your choice. Serving all of Northeast Colorado, Ehrlich Toyota East. Fort Morgan's 4 of 5 so far in this fourth period of play from the free throw line. Elizabeth is 6 of 8 in the fourth period, but the Mustangs missed 5 free throws in that third period. And
Makes a difference.
Yeah, and they're just not as sharp tonight as they have been in these last 10 games that they've come in on that winning streak. They're just not quite as
can't quite sink them tonight.
Just not as sharp. They call that only a 2-1-2 or 3-2 zone defense by Elizabeth. As Tate Kimball now over on the far right side gives it to Eric Kimball out at the three-point line. His jumper from the right side is in and out. They've had a bunch of those tonight. And they said it was off of Kimball and out of bounds. They've had a number of those that are halfway in and come back out. Urich now on the left side. As Elizabeth with possession. Schaefer now drives it into the lane. Into Urich. His three from the corner is up and off the rim and no good, but rebounded by Schaefer. So Tate Kimball underneath it. Gertner back out to Almanza. Almanza to Joey Schneider. His little layup from the right side is up and good by Schneider. 10 points on the night for Schneider. Brings it back to a 13-point lead, though, for Elizabeth. Now a three from Schaefer, and that is off the rim and no good. Rebounded by Eric Kimball. They get it up to Gertner. Gertner into the lane. His layup is going to be up and no good, and they're going to call a blocking foul on Schaefer. That will be 4 on Schaefer, and that will send Nate Gertner to the free throw line where he is 1 of 2 so far tonight. Smart Parts, your family's safety is their main concern, so let the trained professionals take care of you when you need a windshield repaired. His first free throw is up and good for Gertner. 2 points on the night for Gertner. CH&S Grainland, farmer owned with global connections. Find them online at grainland.coop. Free throw is no good, but rebounded by Eric Kimball, and that is up and good. As they get the ball into Gavitt, he gets it off to Schaefer, and now to Visaki, and Visaki's layup from the left side is going to be up and good. Fort Morgan down 12, 60-48. Gertner for a 3 from the left side. That is up and good by Gertner. A full timeout is going to be taken here by the Mustangs, so we'll take one with them. The Mustangs down 9 with 3:39 to go here in the fourth period on B106 and B106.com. 3:39 to go here in the contest. The Mustangs down 9, 60-51 after Gertner hits a 3. Now the ball is tipped out of bounds and off of Nate Gertner. Stone to inbounds. They get it into Schaefer. Now into the hands of Urich as they hustle it down. Now to Gavitt as they're going to pull it back out to Stone. I would think they were going to want to run a little time off of the clock now to Gavitt underneath. And knocked out of bounds by Gertner. Trey McBride back into the game for the Mustangs as Brian Almanza has come out. So Elizabeth the inbounds right baseline of their basket as Gavitt looks to get it in, and he gets it in to Stone. And that layup is going to count, and they're going to call a foul on the layup. And that is going to go against Eric Kimball, his second. So Stone to the line to shoot 1. That free throw is up and good. So down 12 again, 63-51. Coming up on the 3-minute mark. Eric Kimball to the line. And he was fouled on the shot. And they're going to see if it was on the shot or if it was. We're going to see if the basket counts or not. See if they give. So the Coach Unrein is discussing it, and the ref doesn't want to hear it, but apparently they're not going to give him the basket, so Eric Kimball will go to the line to shoot 2. With 3:16 to go, and that first free throw hits the front of the rim and goes in. Second free throw coming up here for Eric Kimball. And that is also up and good. So Almanza comes in for McBride. TJ Bauer offering some congratulations to McBride as he comes off, just some support from the bench. Now Urich hustles the ball up, gets to Visaki as Urich goes down out to Stone as the Mustangs flying all over the court here trying to stop this. Now they're going to have a foul called on Tate Kimball. And that will be 4 on Kimball. And that will send Schaefer back to the free throw line where he is 3 of 4 so far tonight. AC Ice proudly supports local high school sports throughout Northeast Colorado. When you need ice, don't settle for just any old frozen water. Get AC Ice. You can find it at any local grocery or convenience store near you. That first free throw was no good. Second one also off the back of the rim and no good. Rebounded by Eric Kimball. He gets it up to Tate, now to McBride. It's just tapped away from McBride, taken by Urich. And now we'll see, they're going to call a foul. Is it going to be on Gertner? And that will be 4 on Gertner. McBride with 4, Gertner, Tate Kimball each with 4. Almanza with 2, Schneider and Kimball each with 2. So Urich will go back to the free throw line to shoot 2 free throws. And that first one is up and rolls out and no good. He had just hit his previous 2. So the Mustangs need to now come down after that free throw is made and start draining some points here. We're under 3 minutes, 2:50 to go. Eric Kimball from her 3 from the left side. That is up and no good. Rebounded by McBride, but taken away from him and knocked out of bounds off of Visaki. So Fort Morgan to inbound right baseline of their basket. So they get it into McBride. Gets it out to Tate Kimball. Now being tripped up by Gertner. Tate Kimball drives it in now underneath to McBride. Now, see if they're going to give him the bucket. McBride with the bucket, and he is fouled. And I believe that is on, they called that on Visaki. His 3rd, so McBride with the bucket. And the free throw, and that is up and good for Trey McBride. He is 1 of 2 tonight from the free throw line. McBride out, Almanza back in as the Mustangs put on full court pressure, down 8. Now to Gavitt, Gavitt to Urich. Now back to Gavitt. Now it's going to be down to Visaki, and they're going to have a foul called on Tate Kimball. And that will be 5 on Kimball. So he will foul out with 2:29 to go here in the contest. So Trey McBride will come in. So this will be the last home game for these players this year and for the seniors, unless they do get and I don't see how they would get a home game in the playoffs, but Visaki does hit his first free throw. 9-point lead now, up and good is the second one. So back to a 10-point deficit for the Mustangs with 2:27 to go. Eric Kimball on the right side, and his pass underneath is going to be taken away by Stone. He gets it up to Gavitt. Now over on the right side, but that's going to go through the hands of Schaefer and out of bounds. So Almanza to inbounds far corners. He gets it into Eric Kimball. Eric Kimball now will be the floor general out here as he picks up his dribble, gives it off to Almanza. Almanza now to Gertner. Gertner back to Almanza to Kimball. Kimball down the lane. His shot is going to be blocked. Taken in the corner by Gavitt. Mustangs need to get some shots to go here. Now Stone gets it up across half court. He's going to take it all the way down, and his layup is going to be up and good from the right side. So Mustangs down 12 with 1:40 to go, and a timeout is going to be taken here by the Fort Morgan Mustangs. So we'll take one with them with 1:40 to go. The Mustangs down 12 on B106 and B106.com. 1:40 left to go here in the contest. The Mustangs are down 12. Elizabeth has got a big contribution tonight from Urich. Only averages 6.5 points a game. And he is sitting at 15 points tonight, so some extra points there as the Mustangs get the ball in. And that lob into Joey Schneider is going to be knocked away, and Gavitt off to Schaefer. 1:30 to go as the Mustangs Gavitt over in the corner. And a timeout is going to be taken by the Elizabeth Cardinals, and it will be a 30-second timeout, so we will keep it here. So what are we looking at as far as turnovers? It hasn't been a real bad game for turnovers.
The Mustangs sitting at 8 turnovers, and the Cardinals are sitting at 11 turnovers.
It just hasn't been a good shooting night
Exactly.
for the Mustangs.
They're not on their game when it
Just
some of those layups, and I mean,
Yeah.
usually you see Kimball out there. He just drains those threes, and he's tried them several times. He's not sinking them tonight.
He has, he's got, let's see, 8. I believe he has 20 points on the night. It just, they've got the points. It's just that on the defensive end, they're not getting it done, allowing 68 points to Elizabeth. So ball, where did they come up with that foul? They're going to call it on McBride. They're going to call that on Trey McBride, so he will be gone. If they would call it when it happens instead of waiting until Fort Morgan gets possession and then they call the foul. So that's going to send Stone back to the line to shoot 2 with 1:21 to go. Stone is 1 of 1 so far from the free throw line. Coach Enrine having a little chat with the referee. Harris Huff comes into the game for McBride. So 2 Fort Morgan Mustangs have fouled out tonight. So the big man has gone inside. Joey Schneider will be the big man out there now, and that first one is up and good by Stone. Now they're looking at something. Oh, Eric Kimball's got blood on his uniform. I'm not sure. He must have skinned his knee, and now it's on the uniform. So Austin Carl will come into the game as they will take care of Kimball's knee, get it cleaned up. He'll have to go in and get a new pair of shorts probably. So Stone to the line to shoot his second free throw, and that is up and good. 14-point deficit for the Mustangs with 1:15 to go. Eric Kimball coming back in already. Nate Gertner to Schneider. They need to get some points here. Ryan Almanza underneath to Gertner, but his shot is going to be blocked by the 6'5" Aaron Stone. And now they're going to call a blocking foul on Nate Gertner, so that will be Gertner's fifth.
They're just losing everyone tonight, aren't they? I don't know if I agree with these refs tonight. The calls are making.
They're having a rough night tonight. So Urich back to the line to shoot 2. So Eric Kimball will come in for Nate Gertner. So McBride, Gertner, and Tate Kimball all have fouled out for the Mustangs. So Urich will go back to the line to shoot 2 free throws where he is 3 of 4. And that one is bounces off the back of the rim and no good, but the Mustangs down 14 with 1 minute to go. Second free throw coming up for Urich, and that is up and good. So Almanza gets it to Harris Huff. You need to get some. Eric Kimball now, a 3 from the left side. That's off the front of the rim and no good. Rebounded by Visaki into the hands of Schaefer with 45 seconds to go. So the Mustangs look like they will drop to 10-2 on the season as Stone takes it down the middle for the bucket. So the Mustangs will drop out of first place as the ball is kicked out of bounds by Stone. Mustangs, as I said, will be 10-2, 15-6 overall. They lob into Joey Schneider, now to Austin Carl. Carl drops it off to Eric Kimball. Eric Kimball to Joey Schneider. Schneider's little jumper from the left side is off the rim and no good. Can't buy a basket tonight when they need it. And the Elizabeth Cardinals will come away from this with a road victory tonight as Harris Huff will be called for his first personal tonight. And that will send Urich back to the line to shoot 2. With 17 seconds to go. And that first one is up and good. 18-point lead here. 19-point lead here now for the Cardinals as this game is going to come to an end. We're down to 15 seconds. Harris Huff to Austin Carl. Carl for a three from the side is up and no good. Rebounded by Eric Kimball, but rebounded by Stone as they get the ball up to Schaefer. And Schaefer's layup is going to be up and good at the buzzer. So a tough loss here for your Fort Morgan Mustangs as they go down by 21, 77-56, and fall into second place in the Colorado 7 League and snap that 10-game winning streak. We will be back with the post-game show after this break on B106 and B106.com. Disappointing defeat here for the Fort Morgan Mustangs as they fall 77-56 to the Elizabeth Cardinals. This Fort Morgan Mustangs postgame show is brought to you by Morgan Community College. Find out why Morgan Community College is the best choice for your higher education. Visit MCC online at www.morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session. MCC, here to help you imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goals. So once again, the Mustangs go down 77-56. They go to 10-2 in league. 15-6 overall. Leading scorers for the Elizabeth Cardinals, Urich with 18, Stone with 17, Gavitt with 15, Schaefer with 11, Visaki with 7, Boss and Immel each with 4. For the Fort Morgan Mustangs, leading scorer tonight is Eric Kimball with 20, followed by Joey Schneider and Tate Kimball each with 10. Trey McBride with 9, Nate Gertner with 5, and Harris Huff with 2. Mustangs were down 10 at the end of the third quarter, ended up losing by 21. They will go on. They have 2 more games left and see where they will be seated in the postseason. But I think Corey has some numbers for us from the game.
For turnovers go, the Mustangs sitting at 9, the Cardinals sitting at 11. Rebounds, the Mustangs actually out-rebounded the Cardinals tonight at 19-11. It's just tonight the Mustangs, they couldn't, like Brian said, they couldn't buy a shot if they wanted it. I've seen them a lot better with sinking a lot of those shots, and if they would have been on their game a little bit more tonight, then it would have been a lot better game.
Yeah, this is one of the games. This is one of the teams that they couldn't have a bad shooting night. They could get away with that with some of these other teams in this Colorado 7 League that aren't quite as good. But Elizabeth comes in 8-3 and averaging 63 points a game. You just can't have an off night. But congratulations to Eric Kimball on getting his 1,000th point, as he will work on getting the scoring title, I guess you would call it, for the record for the school.
Well, how many points did he hit tonight again?
He had points.
So he's about 1,021 then.
So
now.
He has 1,000. Well, he had a 999 to come in, so he should be at 1,019.
Okay.
As he moves on in at least 3 more games in his high school career. So congratulations to Eric Kimball. Our next broadcast will be next Tuesday, as the boys and girls will travel to Weld Central. The girls will be at 5:30. The boys will follow at 7 o'clock. So I think we'll go ahead and close this broadcast out tonight. The sound engineer and producer for Morgan Mustangs basketball has been Braden Godin. Once again, for Corey Riddle, I'm Brian Nickel. The final scores tonight, as we did have a doubleheader. The girls lost by 6, 50-44. The boys go down 77-56. You've been listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs basketball on B106 and B106.com. Good night, everybody.
Good night.